pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, folks, coming out to our October 9th meeting. We have on our agenda no appointments, so I'll go right into unscheduled matters, public comment number 1. Do we have any comments from the public? Yes, Mr.
I
Rob.
Mark, but it's not, it says it has to be pertaining to the agenda. I have a comment outside.
If you got a brief comment, I'll
Oh, yeah.
entertain it.
Less than 3 minutes. What I'd like to do is, I'm Chuck Robbins, and in the fall of 2015, I did a little campaign to get a shoreline guy put in. And in 16, we okayed it, and $7,600 a year. That grew to $20,000 in 2017. And the problem that I have that I see, I've been patient, I've waited, and the job has sort of morphed into, instead of shoreline, the person's doing a multitude of jobs. And when you have 65% of your income coming off the lakes, and I'm not saying it's 5 minutes of 12 on these lakes, but it's 20 minutes of 12. The cyanobacteria recently at Pine River, lots of assessment on Pine River. You're gonna see it at level, you know, we have the no-foil, which you guys all support on 2 of the lakes. But I'm just not seeing it. I'm willing to help. I mean, my whole career has been in real estate and reading plans. If they're overwhelmed, we just had a, and I don't want to take up too much time, I'd like to come in next meeting with some slotted time. But where stuff's passing by, and I think it's important, because in the fall of 15, I went to spoke to 5 budget committee members, and they didn't want to spend more money. But I convinced them that this was a good thing because it's saving our tax base. $11 a thousand, Milton's at what, 25, 30, same thing with Middleton, over 20 in Wolfboro. It's the lakes. We're not accounting geniuses in this town. We have the lakes. We've got to protect them, and when they're gone, they're probably going to look at this film in 30, 40 years and go, why didn't those guys do something? Because once they're gone, you can't bring them back. You just won't be able to. And you can see that south of here with the lakes. They're never going to bring them back.
Yeah.
So my concern is the money that I thought to appropriate in 15 for 16, 16 for 17, that job is no longer a shoreline job. It's part-time shoreline. And I think the people have to realize if they want to live in Wakefield, second lowest tax rate for any town in New Hampshire with more than 5,000 people, it's only because of these lakes, and $11, $12 a thousand is unheard of in the state. So I would like to come in and have a real meeting and show you some stuff, and just cutting that budget or not letting him do the job with that money. I didn't fight for 20%, 30% shoreline and 70% of the jobs for that position.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me take the time.
get on the agenda, Chuck, we can talk about it, but, you know, I think we have been doing the shoreline stuff. I know Victor has been pretty active in it. You know, you know, he's been out there, you know, looking at people's properties and stuff like that. So, you know, it is enforced. You know, right now we're a little bit short-handed, but that's not a permanent thing. So.
But even prior to the short-handed thing, I've been involved, I've been watching, I haven't been running in here for the last 2 years. But what I've seen and what's gone on, it's not what the position was created for. It's not happening. You want me to bring in all the pictures of the stuff that's lingering 2, 3 years without anything go, that's what I'm saying. Give me some time in another meeting.
Okay.
This
No, we can do that.
I mean, we just talked about how much one of the departments has taken $1.5 million. It's a very important department. But this department, this position is what guards 65% of your income. And when those lakes go green and they can smell those lakes, that $500,000 camp, it's gonna be $250. And that's gonna go to my street, to Jug Hill, Walsh Road, it's gonna go to Charlie Street. We're all gonna pay 50, 60, 70% more for our taxes when these people no longer have to pay that much because the lakes, not to mention the downtown businesses.
Yeah.
So, cool, 3 minutes plus. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Do you want Victor at the next meeting as well?
If you get on the agenda, we'll bring Victor
I'll
in
get
too.
on the agenda.
Okay.
Thanks for the time, and
Yeah.
thanks for letting me sit in earlier over there, so.
All right, no problem. Well, it's a public meeting. Everybody's welcome to the budget
Cool.
meetings. All right, we have some unfinished business, the disposal of the 2010 Crown Vic.
So he was supposed to provide something in writing and he has not done that, so I
Okay.
would just table that for
All
now.
right. We have a cleaning contract that I saw.
Yep, so we put the cleaning out to bid and then I had to have you allow me to rebid it. There should be a bid tabulation in your packets.
Yep.
And there were 3 bidders. There was Superb Cleaning, that came to $52,000 a year and did not include the windows and stripping and waxing the floors, which was supposed to be included in the bid.
Mhm.
After Dark Commercial Cleaning, bid was $46,100. So let me preface this by saying it included the town hall annex, and the public safety building. $46,178 and did include the windows and floors that were in the RFP. And then Gabrielle Miller, her bid was $38,450 and hers also included windows and floors. My recommendation is that we go with the low bidder, Gabrielle Miller from Ospey.
She has all the equipment and everything to do all this stuff.
I believe she does.
And the insurance,
She
yeah?
knows what the RFP is. Yes, I have their insurance certificates. I believe I have hers. If I don't, I'll get it before she starts.
I think we already have it because she's.
Oh, yeah, she's already
Time of the
doing
bid.
one of our
Yeah,
buildings.
okay.
Yep.
All right, so this is the individual, yeah.
I'll make a motion for the 38,450 for Gabrielle Miller.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Congratulations.
Oh, I didn't know that was you.
Oh, this is her?
Sorry.
Well, hi.
Hi,
Well, thank you for coming out.
thank you.
Well, thanks for being interested, at least to come to see it.
Yeah.
Including windows.
And clean windows.
Do we have that proposal?
For,
No, okay.
for Heritage?
No.
Oh, her contract. No, we will write the contract. Once you award it, then we write up a contract.
Okay. All
I'll have you sign it at the next meeting and have her sign it.
right. Okay.
Heritage Commission.
Yeah, the Heritage Commission CLG grant.
So you signed the one for the engineering, now,
Yeah.
or for the architect, is it architect, or archaeologist?
Mhm.
Now, this is the one for the actual engineer that has the ground penetrating radar, so it needs a vote authorizing the chairman to sign the agreement.
Okay, and this is something that has already been taking place. There was a couple things. I was at the Heritage Commission meeting the other night there, and I guess we own a little bit more of that land than we had thought.
Yeah, 31,
Yeah.
like a 31-foot piece
Mhm.
between Lino's building and the railroad, or between the
Yeah.
railroad and
Well, the
Tertiary?
railroad, I actually had to go back in my archives here, but yeah, we did actually,
We got that from North Coast, right?
North Coast Railroad, they gifted it to us, so, and then we put up the fence.
Right, so that's another thing I have to bring up under the TA thing. I think she talked to you about the wrought iron fence.
Yeah, that's gonna be part of my liaison
Oh.
report too, so I'll just bring it up then.
Okay.
Okay, so this is pretty cut and dry. They're gonna do the whole Heritage Park as far as that goes.
Yep.
That was the concern that, the commission had, that, where we own that land, that could it be part of the grant? But they actually checked in with them and they said, no, it's the whole park, so that's how they're gonna do it. So I need a motion for me to authorize me to sign.
So made.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You got a maintenance bid for the cemetery?
Yeah, so I think we talked about this a little bit under the budget. They put their cemetery landscaping out. this year, and they only received one bid back, and it happens to be from the person who's been doing the work, and they're happy with his performance, and the price is $1,000 more for the 3-year contract, and then it has a right to extend it 2 more years for an additional $1,000, so the trustees have already signed it, they're happy with the contract, and I don't know if they did it for all 3 of you, or just the chairman.
All three.
Yeah. Can I get a motion for this contract? You guys have all got it in your packet.
So moved.
Okay. I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Trick or treat. Once
That's
again,
the date.
well, we always have it on the traditional 31st date. I don't think we should change that for any reason, and the times have usually been 5 to 8.
No, I'm good with that. I think it should always stay the same.
Do that way?
So, we've been telling people that it's been forever, so
Yeah.
they've been calling and we
Yeah, they
might
have.
have it on a.
What day is it land on this year?
Thursday.
On a Thursday?
It's a Thursday.
Yeah, that kind of stinks. No, it's not. Nah, it's good. It's always been that way.
I just think it's on the traditional day, it just works out better.
Do we still help out the development on giving candy out? I mean, that seems to, didn't we help do something where they had,
No, a few years ago, they were saying how much candy was going out there and people would
well, that's
drop,
where everybody goes and
people
it's,
would drop bags of candy off for them, you know, someone's house or some people would drop some for us.
On
and they
Forest
can
Hills?
pick up from us,
Yeah,
yeah.
they get hit.
Oh, I agree,
they get hammered and I'm glad that it goes there because it keeps it contained and it's a great thing and, but I thought that there was a time that there was some kind of help to them.
We had talked about it and I believe, if I remember right, that we had decided if we were handing candy over to them, people are making donations to us of bags of candy that we would give to them, that where they're coming from second person, you don't know if someone had been able
That's
to
right.
stick something in
Yeah,
it or
that's
anything
my
like that.
concern.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now.
You hate to be so negative and think like that, but that was my
That's
first
what you
thought.
gotta
We had talked about staying at the rec until 8 o'clock at night and handing candy out too, so it won't alleviate anything, but, you know, we've been there the last couple of years.
Is there a spot that if anybody wants to help donate some candy to that area that they could go to?
I would find somebody that lives in
there?
Forest Hills possibly that would be a drop off for that.
Somebody that doesn't leave for the night.
You just
Yeah,
give them money.
right. You're probably better off just giving the money to someone, money that will take charge to buy candy for everybody there.
I think most of the people in that area enjoy doing it, they don't really have a problem with it.
We always did. It did, we always did at least 300. We'd give out half 50-cent pieces. It was always 300 50-cent pieces.
There's more than that now.
I bet.
All right, moving on, we are on waivers for potential tax acquired properties.
So the DD date is 2 o'clock on October 21st. You entered into a couple of payment plans, so those are in there to waive. And then there are 2 with IRS
Yep.
liens, and there is one that we do not
I
want.
remember when you used to go trick or treating.
So that, this list is all of them?
A few have,
I remember taking the
More else,
boys and the
obviously.
girls.
Yeah.
but still, that will drop dramatically though in the next,
We usually have
Okay.
what, like 11-ish?
maybe.
10 or 11, going into the end, and
I mean, some of these are low dollar, we are sending letters out,
we
correct?
did send a letter, and we're not, so the tax collector by law has to send out the notice of impending tax deed 30 days before, at least 30 days before deeding. In addition, the town, our office sends out an additional letter, which we're not required to do, asking anybody if they wanna make a payment plan or, and we did have a couple of takers on that, but I suspect that there'll be more calls, but you don't have another meeting before the 21st, so.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, because like I say, some of them are low.
Well,
Okay.
and they can redeem, I mean, after we deed it, the only problem is if it's not their primary place of abode, there's a 10% penalty on it, and they would have to pay all 3 years that are due, not just the deed year, so it's in their best interest to pay the deed year before the 21st.
Now, do I have to,
Just maybe read the map and lot.
yeah. All right, we have a deed waiver for map 163, lot 04. Is there a motion for that one?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next one we got is map number 94, lot 63.
Carrie?
Okay, I'll second that one. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, lost one.
Okay. Next one, map 34, lot 26.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next one is map 5, lot 43.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
And the next one is map 195, lot 9.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. We got the purchase order for the turnout gear for the,
It's okay.
this is for the,
Fire department?
Yeah, and it was budgeted for.
yep. You want a motion on that one?
Yeah, I'll make the motion for the 11,743 and 88 cents.
This is for their clothing thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No other expenditures, correspondence, we have, national prescription,
Charter Communications,
charter communication,
other line of change.
oh, yeah. Let me read.
I think it's time to get rid of them. It seems like every 5 minutes they're taking away things from everybody. I think it's time to get rid of them.
Well, this one's gonna hit everybody hard, this is,
Disney Channel, they're getting rid of it.
Disney Family Movies on demand.
Unbelievable.
Not the Disney Channel, the on-demand movies will cease transmission. in this
It don't
channel.
matter, it's just one more step to another one. They're gonna keep taking it away and you're gonna have to buy everything individual. Granted, I don't get it, it's just a point. I mean, it seems like we're under their demand, under their control to watch TV when it costs you $170 a month to watch TV. That's pretty ignorant.
It's expensive, I know. Do you want me to take this as,
Cancel.
correspondence? Can you read that, or?
Your call. The attorney said if we read the positives, we have to read the complaints out
Okay.
loud in public, so. we
All
did
right,
stop
well, you guys
with
got a
this.
letter in the mailbox
We
from,
put it in their personnel files.
Yep.
We had kind of.
From the association? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
okay. We got
The National Prescription Opiate Litigation.
Yep.
Do you want to join in on that?
I don't.
I think it's a nice heads up, but
What is it?
a bunch of towns are getting together and jumping onto the opiate litigation against the drug companies that created oxycodone and,
Yeah.
but I think we've got all the litigation that any small town needs to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the state should take all the money anyways.
Okay, we did, everybody got the Greater Wakefield Resource Center minutes and financials?
Yep.
Yep.
No questions on those?
No.
All right. Moving into public comment number 2.
Nobody out there?
The public is in the
Got rid of
hall.
Chuck, so yeah, good.
All right.
Keep moving before he comes back.
All right. That's not nice.
I'd
All
say
right,
to
here
his
we go.
face, so.
Town administrators update.
Okay, so the L-chip window grant, I have closed that out, and I have the stewardship document that needs to be signed signed by the chairman of the board.
Mhm.
Basically, it extends 5 more years that we can't sell this building. And it, you know, it has covenants in it about, you know, maintaining the integrity of the building. Once a year, I have to file a report about the stewardship, anything we've done to the building. Like when we remodeled after the flood, I had to do an explanation. It says we'll have a plaque, which we've already got from a previous LCHIP grant. And then there's just some baseline documentation that I had to provide them with photos and then a budget. So this is ready to be closed. They still owe us $4,881. And when we get this into them, we'll get that final check.
All right, I need a motion for me to sign.
So moved.
Need a second on that, Ken?
I was against the windows, but I wanted to put nice new good windows, because I still think, I mean, they're as good as it gets to fix old putty windows with ropes and sashes, but you can already feel the wind coming through and the ropes are broken, and I'd have loved to have spent a couple of $100,000 and put good windows in like they did in Wolfboro at their town hall, but I'll second it for you, Mark.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Do we have to do, in order to do the grant, we have to do the pindles and all them
Oh,
things
yeah,
that you
fix.
don't even,
No, I was
Use.
just putting nice new windows in so the wind didn't blow through them, but
yeah, that, which
It's
can
just-
look the same on the outside, but they don't have the weight inside. And that's
Exactly.
what
Thermal
they're,
painting,
yeah,
ventilation,
and that's
but-
ridiculous that you can't get the money.
Thermal pain and wind and
Yeah, it's crazy that you gotta use that, and that's,
freezing.
yeah, I mean, they're dangerous sometimes. That rope breaks
Oh,
and your
yeah.
fingers under it.
of course it does.
Never mind the storm windows. Nobody puts them down.
Pain.
So the next thing I have is I wanted to talk to you guys about November meeting dates, because we generally meet the second and fourth Wednesday of the month, and that would put us at the Wednesday right before Thanksgiving. So
Tony
the green
refuses to
is
come out
the
that night.
6th, or the regular meeting would be the 13th and the 27th, which is the night before.
So it's all
What
about.
I'm recommending, because we have 3 weeks before the meeting on the 6th, is that we change just our November meetings to the 6th and the 20th, if that works for you guys. I don't think we can forego a meeting like we do in December, just because we'll be busy with budget
Yeah,
stuff.
nothing's going on.
But I think this is kind of we still get 2 meetings and we don't get into the holiday. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So we'll put that on the website so people know.
6th and the 20th.
6th and the 20th.
So it's the first and third, not the
First
second
third
and fourth.
Instead of second and fourth, yeah. So I have the easement and the agreement for Pond Road. And the changes that you asked last time, we removed the part about plowing to pass the driveway, and then we just said we would put in writing any maintenance issues or safety issues that we had to address after we addressed them. And the Seaman Trust attorney came back and said that that was fine. We also have the agreement, which kind of included the removal of the stump, which they've already done, the Highway to Cottages sign, which is still kind of questionable. I just want Brock and Seth to take one more look at it, because they've actually measured it. But I'm gonna ask you to sign the agreement.
Yep.
And then just let Brock, and that's here with an X. So so the easement, you've already decided, those changes were made. The agreement we haven't looked at in a little while, because that was more specific stuff about the tree. Rick still has it in here about the date it would be removed, but the tree and the stump are gone.
Yeah.
And basically, the reason I'm having you sign it now is because Brock really wants to get to work building that parking lot, you know, that turnaround. So I think we're where we need to be. The only thing I want to verify is just that placement of the sign.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys all set with this now?
Yep.
Right, so we do need a vote on this, because we haven't really voted on it. So the turnaround easement for Pond Road, I get a motion for that.
So made.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, and this one here.
And the agreement becomes part of the easement, I believe, along with the map.
Okay, so are we all set with the placement of the sign? Are we putting it back where it was, or
Which sign?
which was just before that tree?
No plowing
actually?
down this boat.
Oh.
Some road to Summer Cottages sign.
He
I
has the arrow on where it
Wherever you
is,
want.
and I just wanted Brock and Seth to make
Double
sure
check
that
the
that's where
numbers and
the,
that's where they want
yeah,
it.
where you
So-
guys were all out at the site
Right.
review, and he knows where it is, so I just wanna make sure it's correct on the map before that map
Yeah,
becomes
it
a part
was
of
right
the.
before that little
Okay,
turnaround, yeah,
Alright.
I'm good with that.
if you're good with it, then
So that, this was part of that motion
Yeah.
also?
well, you might wanna make a separate one for the agreement that goes
Okay.
with the easement.
The motion for the agreement for Pond Road, maybe?
So made.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anything off our plate?
Yeah, hopefully.
And you're gonna bring up the Heritage Committee?
Yeah.
That's because she asked me. Okay, so I have one last thing. I wanna know if you have any druthers on how you would like to handle the tax rate setting. So they haven't started setting tax rates yet, but it probably will, they'll start calling around verifying revenue numbers next week. The way I did it last year, and I'll offer this up to you, and if you wanna do it a different way, they do it all online now. They'll send me the template, I verify all the information from our MS1 or MS5, or 525 and MS1 and MS434, and then they basically send me a template, and I can plug in, you know, if we use money from unassigned fund balance, if we use zero, I usually do it a couple of different ways, and then I send it out to the Board of Selectmen. And what I did last year was I used the Selectmen's assessed values to show you what the increase or decrease would be for a regular person on your own. I didn't send it to anybody else. It's just, I think it's nice to see what the effect would be on somebody and
Yeah.
what better than you. And then you guys get together and decide what you want it to be. Now, we have $50,000 coming from unassigned fund balance anyway for the public safety parking lot because that was a vote in a warrant article. And in addition, we're going to get $103,843,000 in what used to be called shared revenue. Now they're calling it municipal discounts or something. They're calling it something different. But we are going to get some money. And right now, the reason DRA hasn't started setting tax rates is because they're still talking to the state about whether that money can be used as unanticipated revenue or whether we can use it to reduce the taxes. So there is a little bit of money available to us that we didn't know was going to be available. So does that work for you guys if I go in and plug some numbers in and then send them out to you and you get to take a look at it? And because if we wait to the next meeting, we may not set a tax rate until the 23rd. We'd really like to get those bills out, and it takes Angie usually about a week. It takes Cindy a couple of days to check all the credits and elderly exemptions and resolve any issues with the warrant. And then the assessing board has to sign the warrant, and then it takes Angie about a week to get it all on the kiosk. If we don't get those tax bills out by November 1st, they won't be due December 1st, and that can potentially create a cash flow problem for us, so.
And if it takes an extra couple of weeks and they get hit the week before Christmas, it's
Yeah,
through the week
that-
before
that's-
Christmas.
so-
And
It's kind of nasty
Yep,
to
no,
push it
no,
into
we're good.
Christmas. All right, I'll get it out to you as soon
So
as
you're
I
gonna
can.
put some what ifs?
Yeah, like, you know, if we use $100,000 of unassigned fund balance,
Right.
here's what the rate would be. And this money is only for us, it's not for the school. It can
Right.
only be used on the town side, so.
The
And I don't-
50,000 on the parking lot, was that in the budget or?
It was a warrant article, so it's automatically gonna become part of the tax rate. But it is coming out of unassigned fund balance, and we finished up the year with the audit at 1.7 million. So we're in a nice, healthy place, so there is money available to use to reduce taxes.
They're not able to, or it's going to be more than the 50 to spend it?
What do you mean? for the public safety parking
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
I think they're gonna use the whole 50. Brock is still working with R&D on when
Yeah.
they're getting pretty antsy to get that done.
Well, the
Because he's
clock
got
is
to,
ticking.
yeah, and he's got I think a day of work, because he's got to dig out in front of the garage doors.
Yeah,
He has to do something there to make that so that when they pave it, there's the right transition.
exactly.
And he's got to build this turnaround for pond, he's got a few things to clean up before snow flies.
Yeah. Could be any day.
So that's all I had.
Okay. All right, tax club monthly comparison, we got that. We got petition for a poll license. And that is.
There's 3 copies of the same thing.
Yeah. And this one is. 5 days.
Wait for the second page.
I had it right in front of me. Thought I read it. Requesting a license right there after maintaining described poles and conduits across the following public rights of way, so White Mountain Highway, Town of Wakefield, New Hampshire. I thought they had more better description of where that was.
Usually is a map of 5 Davis Farm Road.
That's Portland, Maine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's Governor's Road and White Mountain Highway. Approximately 615 feet to Governor's Road.
Yeah, it just has a phone number.
Yep.
And it shows it on the map, but it doesn't have.
Any
It does say-
issues with this?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Any motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
All's in favor?
All right.
Looks like it's by the billboard.
What's that?
Looks like it's by the billboard. 16 more than Governor's.
We have a building permit for a private road. It is Flower Road.
I'll make the motion.
Goes up. I'll second it.
Oh, you did it.
Favor?
Aye. Snuck that one in. Duffy missed this one.
Yep.
All right, we got the payment manifest.
It's gonna be the main one.
Here, buddy. There you go. That's it.
Okay. We have treasurer's payroll warrant for $83,732.35.
So moved.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have another one for voided checks for $993.97.
I'll make that one. It's a good one.
Charlie, got a second?
Second,
One,
yeah.
Money coming back in. All those
Here.
in favor?
Take that and sign that one.
Okay.
Did he not sign one of those?
He just didn't sign that one page.
On the pole license.
Oh, it is?
No, that, no, next one, right there. You didn't sign that one.
Okay. I'll get to
And I don't wanna mess up Miss Tony Boda's
Yeah, so she gets it.
How many
perfect
do
pile.
All right, we got the other one for $972,956.92.
Go ahead, Ken.
I did the last one.
All right, I'll make it. I ain't bashful about spending.
All right, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Sign this one here.
You gotta pay it.
Yes, we do.
I sure wish they would control it a little better.
That's you.
792 of that's one.
It's you.
What, going over?
Jack, control of it.
I'd like to,
It's just, and we said it years ago, that we've got the budget as tight as you can. You gotta start giving up services if you
Yeah.
wanna reduce it
Oh, yeah.
anymore.
no, I know.
Then close the beach.
I think that was one of my last comments, when I was selectman prior, is that, you know, you have to decide what you want.
Yeah.
Because-
24-hour police coverage, 24-hour ambulance, dumps open,
Athens free.
nothing.
No.
All right, board minutes. We have a few-
I just read them, they seem to be in order, so I'll make a motion to accept the board minutes.
Well, we have to do.
Except the public and the non-public, you just have
Are we
the
good?
non-public, no sealed.
Yeah, and the non-public, number
One.
1. Oh, wait a minute, can I make one, just clarification? On the minutes that it was stated in here on the amount of time that logging outfit would take, you've got it at 5 to 7 days. And I think that I said that they would like it to be not 5, 7, but 2 weeks, just because if they do get bad weather, it will indicate, you know, it may go. It should only take 5 or 7 working days, by all means, but I just want to make sure that we understand that it could be a 2-week thing if it rained for 4 days straight, you know?
So you want us to just add a sentence after likely the project will not exceed 5 to 7 days and just say?
It's a 2-week cycle because it could run into that second week, but it would only be due to weather
Should be completed within a 2-week
cycle.
period.
Yeah.
Well, and what I said too, and I'm not sure made the
I
minutes.
can't
was
remember, I was just
We just
reading
give
it.
them like a month,
Yeah,
like give them 30 days from the day we,
I'm okay with
Sure.
that. if this happens, I
That
just
way
wanted
you
to
can
make
get
sure
us-
that we understood that
well, if you get a blizzard.
it is
or-
5 days, but it could take a blizzard to take up 4 days.
So can you add a sentence just kind of?
But other than that, everything is in good. And that was
So it's a
fine.
motion with a correction.
Yep,
All right.
that may be the first one in 2-3
Yeah.
I'm
years.
pretty upset though.
And we need a motion for the sealed non-public,
They're not sealed.
the
No.
no sealed, okay, so we're all set.
You're
We're
all
all
set. You just haven't voted.
Okay. I'll second that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We're on to Selectmen's work sessions, you guys.
Yeah, I have one thing. I'd just like to be put on the agenda for my small presentation for the Canal Bridge for next meeting. I was actually ready for it this one, but I figured we had a lot to do. So if I could just get on it to bring my thoughts and concerns about the Canal Bridge for next one, I'll have a small PowerPoint presentation that Ken can play with on his thing there that he does.
But all we got is two.
Are you gonna bring
signatures.
engineers or anybody else with you? Do you need somebody else?
No.
Just you?
Just me,
Okay.
yeah. No, it's
What do you think?
pretty much just,
15 minutes?
yeah.
Ish?
Yeah, and if anybody wants to ask questions, at least I'll have most of the answers, and if I can't have them, I'll have them, but it's pretty much just a step in the forward direction to see what you guys think and how you want to go about it and that kind of thing. But, all good.
What about you, Ken, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, I got a couple things here from the Heritage Commission meeting there. One was that East Wakefield School, the concrete steps, they're not gonna work. Do we have a schedule for Brock to pick those up?
Nobody's talked to me about it.
Okay,
And we
because I think
made
that,
a motion to not spend any money on that except for insurance and so you have to make a motion to spend, because that's money. So just,
it's not dismantling, it's just picking them up.
right, but that is labor from the town, so just make a motion to have them pick them up, because I can't authorize them to do that, because you made a motion when you took on that school, that it was not to cost us any money but insurance and mowing it and plowing it. Lino made that, because he was adamant about taking it out of another town building, so.
I think we brought them out there as like a gift so that they could use them. is what I'm hearing.
And they won't work,
They won't
so we're
work.
just picking them up.
We're picking.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. If it takes a motion, I'll make the motion to go pick them up and go from there.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor?
No,
The other thing was they're cleaning out one of the rooms and all of it's pretty much metal. They have some wooden cabinets in there they're gonna put out for free in front of there. They're anticipating those are gonna get picked up, but if they do have to bring them to the dump, they're wondering if they get their fee waived.
Yeah, if you guys vote to waive it.
it's metal cabinets, right?
Well, the metal is not gonna be any fees, but they might have a small amount of wood if nobody picks up the cabinets. But from what they're saying, that the wood would be very minimal.
You
Well,
guys,
I gotta make a trip to the dump next week too, so do you mind waiving that one for me too?
I
Just figured I'd ask.
You gotta pick the cabinets up on your way by.
Just figured I'd
Yeah,
ask.
if you just throw them in the back, man.
But, no,
Usually what
I
happens-
understand.
usually what happens with these is you guys vote, because we don't have the authority to waive fees, and then I write a letter for them to take with it so that Joe Gore has it on file.
Where are they coming out of? The old schoolhouse?
Yeah, the East Wakefield School, they're kind of making a resource room there for when people go in
I
there.
understand, and it's for the town, so I'm good with it.
Okay, I don't think it's gonna be more than.
No, it's never very much anyway.
So okay by consensus?
Yes.
Need a motion?
I do need a motion because it's waiving fees.
I'll make the motion to waive the fee.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the other thing that got brought up was the fence out there by the railroad tracks here is getting kind of beat up. And they
Just the
wanted
chain
our,
link.
huh?
Chain link?
Yeah, the chain link
fence.
one there.
Yeah, it's been backed into and.
Yeah, they got a proposal for a wrought iron fence. You know, it's an industrial grade. It'll look a lot better than the chain link fence. And they're proposing to put in 104 feet right now, which comes to like $8,100. This is something they would do in the spring, too.
They taking care of the fees of that?
They've already got half the fees and they're gonna do some fundraising. They just need our approval to replace that section of fence.
Oh, I don't care.
I think you guys voted, Pam thought you guys voted the board voted 3 years ago to allow that, and it just never got done because they were gonna do the
Didn't we just
fundraising.
vote to have, didn't we just pay for that fence over there? I thought we just had that put in 2 or 3 years ago.
It's not that
No,
old.
it actually got damaged when they did the work on the crossing 2 summers ago, and I tried to call North Coast about fixing it, and I never got anywhere with it. But the wrought iron one is actually made out of steel, and it
Yeah.
looks so much better.
It will.
Is it gonna take is it gonna take the run in just like the chain fence?
There's gonna be damage to the vehicle
on
at this
this one.
point.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, and that can be by consensus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing they wanted me to ask, and this came up, they wanted to, the people that bought the Garden building went to the Heritage Commission because, you know, we found out in the deed, which we all knew about, but apparently the lawyer that drafted the deed didn't include the covenants in where it says there shall be no material or structural changes to the exterior of the garden building absent written approval from the Wakefield Heritage Commission. Well, the owners of the garden building went to them and asked them, well, what are your guidelines? And they said, we have no guidelines. So at this meeting, they wanted to adopt the secretary. They were going to say that these are the guidelines going by the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation, which applies to buildings that are on the National Register.
Which that isn't.
Which is how we get into the crap with our windows.
Right.
Correct.
Which
Here,
which
this
the other
is the
thing-
same thing to
other
your
thing
little
is,
thing.
It really isn't in the historic district either. So I brought up the question. I said, I think you're opening up a legal can of worms here. That if you adopt these guidelines now, after you already bought the building,
Yeah, I don't think you can make them.
No,
you can't use these guidelines, and they can't. And we were talking about windows, and that's what I brought up. I said, why would we prevent someone for like making the building more fuel efficient and stuff like that? It's not on the historic register. I understand the aesthetics of
Oh,
it
yeah.
and everything like that.
But they can still make
put a
them look
nice
aesthetic. Of
window.
course you can.
I mean, not like this window here. I would be all against that.
Yeah.
Because it's
No, I agree. I think that's, I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, by
Well,
all
what they
means.
were asking for me to ask you guys if they can call legal counsel on this.
It's
After
up
they
to
have
you,
a
it's $175
fundraiser.
an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much you wanna,
You know,
maybe they ought to try, we're members of NHMA, so maybe they ought to try the legal inquiry line first.
mhm.
You know, because it's free, they can
Right.
email them first and say, you know, they
That's
bought the
fine.
building already, there's a deed covenant in there, but all it says is they will get written permission from them. It doesn't say what the standard is going to be, and to implement the standard after they buy it might be.
That's wrong. It's
I-
completely
I think
wrong.
I think we asked them to send it to legal inquiries. I will provide that to Pam Lincoln tomorrow and at least start there. And
Yeah.
if they refer her back to town council, then you guys can decide how to handle that, but
You know, the
Well, I
covenant-
thought
the
that's up
covenants
to-
clearly state that they have the
to
right.
get written permission.
For written
But
permission.
it doesn't say that they can withhold that permission
Right.
or what the standard is going to be. So I think,
Right.
And I thought it was, and doesn't that leave that up to the planning board or the town selectmen to make those decisions?
the Heritage
No,
Commission has
Heritage
to give
Commission.
written permission.
Yeah.
That's what that
But has to
says.
give written permission on something that they're changing the guidelines to now.
Well, no,
Well, I don't-
these guidelines aren't really too overbearing, but I just think, I thought it was, we just can't bring this into the mix now, saying, okay, here's our guidelines now.
Now that he's already
Now that
ready,
he's already got it.
ready to start something and do
I
something.
would be a little bit upset if I owned.
Of course I
a building.
would.
I think the biggest concern, from what I heard at the meeting, was that vinyl windows. And
Yeah, it sounds, it's the sound, but if you look at them, you can't really tell the difference to them on the
Well, if you
outside.
got a nice powder coated exterior with a wood interior,
100%.
it's gonna be nice. I mean,
Yep.
a vinyl window like that isn't gonna look that attractive.
Right.
But I would think the person that purchased that building understands the historical aspect of it and is
Mhm.
probably
And I think
some of
so.
the driving point
Yeah.
of why he bought it, so he's not gonna want it to look like, or she, they're not gonna want it to look
I
cheap.
agree.
So,
okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with us.
I don't think so.
Refer to the free legal line
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Start a bake sale.
see how, what they think, and if
Yeah.
they want to go to town council, then we'll come back to you and
Yeah,
get
I
permission.
think the intent of the new owner is to preserve the place, and I would hate to start, you know, discourage him from doing anything, and thinking he's not gonna get anywhere, where he
Well, but I'm
probably
also
could.
sure he wants to save energy costs so
Oh,
that he
yeah.
can get good tenants, and
I was just
you
gonna
aren't
say,
gonna
it
do
needs
those
to
with these
attract
kind
tenants,
of, you
'cause it
know,
looks
there is
vacant.
a deterrent putting in historical windows if they aren't going to be energy.
Yeah, and this ain't
efficient.
just about windows either, it's about
No,
decking
they're
and.
gonna do composite, I think he
Of
wants
course
to
they
do
are,
composite
everybody,
decking.
I mean, it's just, I mean, what are you
But
gonna?
they make composite decking that looks like wood, not all that looks like wood, but they make some
Of course
that
they
does.
do. Yes, they do, and it looks pretty damn close to wood, Kelly. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I've looked at vinyl floors that I have to get
Is
down
that
and touch
pressure
and
treated
tell
on
they're
that?
not wood.
Yeah.
Deck now,
over there,
that ramp?
it's probably,
I
if
thought it was
it's
composite.
lucky, I wouldn't be surprised it's been painted.
All right, so that's good, then I forgot about them, that's.
I'll send Pam
Yeah.
the email address for the legal inquiries line at NHMA, and they can start there, and then if they don't get any good information from
Yeah.
them, then we'll bump it up.
You know, I remember the whole purchase of the garden building and that covenant being in there, you know, to preserve the appearance of the building. But, you know, that was what it was. I mean, if we start applying the historical, the village, you know, rules to that building, I don't think that's really fair, because it's not in the historic village. It's in the town. It's a historic building, and from what I was told, to be put on the register, it would have to come from the owner. Now,
Well,
what?
yeah, and why would you
I
do
wouldn't-
that?
I wouldn't do
if
it
it's-
now,
You
anyway,
know, and if
but-
it's going to keep him from doing necessary upgrades and
Mhm.
repairs, I mean, there's gotta be a middle ground here that we can
Yeah, and
reach,
I
that
think- I think-
Heritage and the owner can reach, and maybe it's incumbent on you guys to help them
Yeah, I-
Mediate.
I-
reach
yeah.
that middle ground.
I'd like a motion for Charlie to go mediate.
I'll second it.
There we go.
Hopefully.
I think
Sorry.
everything will be fine. I just didn't like the idea of having, adopting guidelines.
After
and
the fact.
After the fact. if they wanna adopt these guidelines so all their other buildings are on the National Register, that's fine, but it doesn't apply.
I agree,
to this building.
Mark, that's a good statement, good
Okay.
discussion.
All right, that's all I have. If you don't have anything else, I entertain a motion to, just so the public knows, we're gonna close the Board of Selectmen meeting, and we have some budgetary things that we're gonna clean up. So we're gonna close the Board of Selectmen meeting and then go into another meeting, a budget meeting.
Which doesn't mean you have to leave.
It's an open public meeting.
Right.
Is that a camera on or camera off?
It
Doesn't
matter.
However
Depends if
you
the
wanna do it.
cameraman wants to go home.
Yeah, because all we're doing is
Or
doing
if
is
he's on
talking about the
overtime.
budget.
Typically, our budget meetings don't get filmed because it goes to the budget committee anyway, and that's where they all hem and haw over it, but, if you're more than welcome to
We only
say,
have
"Hey,
four
the
sheets,
cameras
we
come
only
on,
have
it
four
doesn't
sheets
bother
to
me."
deal with.
I think in the past, we had not filmed the preliminary budget speak because you meet with department heads and things like
Yeah.
that.
And that's what we're
And
doing
then
right
there's an
now.
opportunity for the public to view at the budget meetings
Yep.
and to participate. So I would say if you adjourn the meeting,
Mhm.
then we can turn the camera off because that wouldn't be any different than what we've been doing.
Correct, we're
That's
not
all.
doing them.
Motion to adjourn.
Well, you shouldn't
Second.
adjourn, you shouldn't adjourn yet. You had one posting. You should continue with the same posting unless
For
you.
the budget work session, we should just move into the budget work session.
Oh, and not adjourn?
Not adjourn, but
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
whatever you have to do.
So we're
Whatever we-
leaving the regular scheduled meeting and we're going into our work session that was posted. Thank you for clarification on that.
Thank you.
You could take a brief recess if somebody wanted to move their.
No, we wanna get right into it.
Yeah, we only got a couple of pieces to do.
Camera's off.